Hello, welcome to A Tinge Ginge. Today we're going to be pulling a clutch of eggs. So it's my second clutch of the season. It's nothing too exciting. So the pairing for this is a Super Phantom, just bred to a straight clown. With this I just wanted to hit a load of Phantoms basically. So Super means all the babies are going to come out as a Phantom, and they're all going to be 100% het clown as well, which is brilliant. Now I do have a few clown combos that I could have chucked in the mix for this, but for me, with the hobby, I'm not the best at sort of looking at a snake and deciding what the genes are in a snake. So for me, I want to try and build up slowly, if that makes sense. I want to slowly add the genes in so I can look at a snake and be like, right, okay, I know that's definitely a Phantom. If there's GHI in the mix, I know there's definitely GHI, blackhead, cinnamon, things like that. So for me, a lot of my adult females I'm breeding are only 1, 2, maybe 3 genes max. I've got a couple that have got more genes in them, but they're just absolute mind blowers. It's so hard to work out what comes from them sometimes, it's just ridiculous. I can show you one of them actually right now. So this is a snake that I produced sort of last season. Now the pairing for this was my, it was a butter pastel pinstripe spider, and it was bred to my leopard pastel Mojave. Now I still don't know what this thing is. I have no idea. It's got quite a few genes floating about in it, but as you can see, I think this has probably got 5, maybe even 6 genes in it. It's just so blushed out. It's got a little bit of pattern that goes down the side, but yeah, I have no idea. I know it's got spider because it does have a little bit of head wobble. It's nothing too serious, but and it's got that eye stripe, but it's just got a little bit that makes you sort of have to be a little bit patient with it when you feed it basically. But to be honest, it smashes food every week. It was a little bit of a troublemaker at the beginning because it wasn't eating for me straight off the bat, but now you can see it's nice and chunky. It's getting to a decent size, and yeah, I have no idea what it is, not a single idea. Now I think it's male. When I try and pop it, it does look like there's hemipenes, but they don't pop out, so it's either a very unfortunate male or it is a female, so I will have to get a second opinion on it. But yeah, I have no idea. I'd love for it to be female, because then I would chuck that to, I've got my pastel GHI clown, and I've also got my banana clown, so I'd probably chuck one of them to it eventually, or maybe blackhead, I don't know, just to see what's in it basically. But yeah, I have no idea. If you've got any ideas of what could be in it, feel free to chuck it down in the comments, send me a message, because yeah, I'd love to know. I might get under a black light just to see what it looks like under there, just see if there's any other pattern. But yeah, strange animal. So basically I just want to build up from the beginning, and I just want to be able to identify what genes do to what, if that makes sense. It's all well and good going on Morph Market and Genetic Wizard and seeing stuff that other people have produced, but obviously all the morphs, they're all slightly different, and someone's pastel pied might look different to someone else's pastel pied, things like that. So for me, I get a lot more sort of reassurance and a little bit more satisfaction out of it, just knowing that one, I've produced the animal that's got 3-4 genes in it finally, but I can actually break down the genes in the animal, so I know it's got these 3 genes because I produced it, and I can look at the characteristics and see why it is that animal, if that makes sense. So it's just my own sort of self-knowledge, and then if people do ask me about snakes, and I can think, oh, I can see this, I think it could be this. So yeah, it's just one of them things, and it's also just building up my plans for the future. I really like Phantom clowns. Super Phantom clowns are really cool. I want to get some dark genes into it, so I'm sort of building the base morphs, building my foundations, and then just working from there basically. So yeah, what I'll do is we're going to pull the clutch out. It looks like there's 5 eggs and 1 slug, which again I'm not terribly sad about. It's a first time mum, it's also a first time dad. It's just a single gene clown that I produced myself a couple of years ago, so it's quite rewarding just to see him up and producing. But yes, first time mum, so I can't be too sad about that. The eggs look okay, won't until they're candled, but they look fine, and they're nice big chunky eggs as well, which is always a bonus. So we'll get mum out, we'll have a look at the eggs, and if you haven't seen my custom egg boxes already, I'll be putting them straight into the custom egg box as well, so you get to see that. So this is her, and looks like she's rolled 1 egg out, which is fine, that's not an issue, we can candle that. You can see we've got 1 egg there that she's rolled out. She's got, oh, she's getting intensive. 1 egg there, we've got 3 that's lined up there, and a slug there. And I think that is all of them. She is done by the looks of it because she's wrapped right around. She looks like she's going to have a little pop at me, so she's getting nice and close. So we're just going to get her out, sort of get her in a little tub, get her in some water, just like we normally do basically. Let her soak in there, make sure we get all that egg smell off of her, and then just gives her a chance to have a little drink as well. So yeah, we'll get that. Oh, and while I'm here, I can show you this girl. So this is my big albino girl. You might have just seen on my Instagram that I've posted that she has ovulated, and she is absolutely huge. I actually thought she had ovulated already because she was just so big. She was absolutely humongous. But turns out no, she hadn't ovulated. She's just ovulated now, so she's going to get even bigger. And she was paired just to my ultra male male. So again, making double hets for that future. But I have seen an ultra male albino, and they do look a little bit strange. But I just want to see what other things I can get in there, double het wise. Just to sort of go from there and take the project on. So I'm trying to focus on Sam, but this girl is literally coming out to completely say hi. So yeah, I'm going to get this girl back here, leave her be. Actually, if I just push her in for a second, we are actually due another clutch in about 5 days, and that is going to be from this girl here. So this is just a straight Mojave female, and again, she was just bred to a clown, just because I want to try and make those Mojave clowns. So I've just put one single gene in, just so I can get those Mojave hets, then obviously raise some of the females up, keep a male to breed back, and then that way I can sort of go through that way of building my het army that way as well. But yeah, you can see she has got a little bit of stuck shed on her head. That is from a prelay shed. Now I didn't really want to mess about with her, soak her in water and things like that, just because she is sort of gravid with eggs. I didn't want to risk sort of messing that up basically. So it's only a little bit of water. Once she's laid, I'll be able to get her in a soak. That little tiny bit will come off, and that'll be completely fine. But yeah, she's due to lay in, I think, about 5-6 days. So yeah, clutch number 3 is very close. Okay, so whenever it comes to taking a mum off eggs, just be aware they are going to be quite aggressive sometimes. They can be a bit snippy, a bit bitey. To us, I think she's going to be absolutely fine, just because I've sort of been checking on her. So normally what you want to do is you want to sort of come from the head end, just cover that head, and that's normally going to sort of push them off the eggs a little bit. You want to grab hold of the tail, unwrap the tail, and then from there you can just slowly pull off the eggs. You just want to sort of try and not move those eggs as best you can. And then from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to have a feel sort of from halfway down her body. I'm going to feel all the way down just to make sure she hasn't got any eggs left in her. And she's completely empty, and she's giving me a little bit of a fight. But to be honest, body weight wise, she doesn't look too bad. You can see she's a little bit skinny, but to be honest, I think she looks pretty good. She's not sunken in underneath too much, so she's lost a little bit of weight, but she hasn't lost a great deal. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get her into a little tub with some water in. And while she's in there, it just gives me a chance to have a look at these eggs. So you can see we've got 5 eggs here. This is the one that she rolled out. Yeah, no, they're not too bad. They're all right. And then obviously we've got a little slug. So again, I'm not too worried about that. I mean, first time mum, I kind of expect that, but these eggs look absolutely brilliant. They're nice and big, which is also a good thing. The last clutch I had, the eggs were quite small, so it's nice to have some eggs that are a little bit of a decent size. Oh, I can just see mum, she's having a good old drink. I can't move the camera just because I've got the camera mounted up in quite a precarious way, but if you look through my other videos, you'll see that the mums do tend, as soon as they find that water and dip their head in, they do start to drink. So it's always important you do get them straight into some water. So I can see she's drinking away there. That's great. So if you've seen me do my eggs before, I like to separate my eggs. The first thing I do is I put a little line just on the top of the egg, and that's just so I know that the egg was actually laid that way up. That's just how I've always done it. I don't know why. And then when I go to candle them, I'll rotate them around where the embryo is on top, and then I'll put a little circle. If you've watched my videos, you know how I've done this before. I'll do it every single time, exactly the same, but I do like to separate my eggs just because of my OCD. Separating eggs is really easy. It's just, don't rush, take your time with it, and it's just a case of working the egg from all angles. Try not to tear the egg, just being nice and gentle. It just comes with practice. Once you do it a few times, you sort of get to, you have to feel it more than anything. You can kind of see what's going on, but it's more of a feel thing. You can just feel when the egg's ready to go. And all I'm doing is I'm working it from all angles, and then you can see it just comes apart just like that, nice and easy. These are lovely sized eggs, look at them. Nice chunky eggs, really happy with that. And she wasn't a big girl. I think she was about 1800 grams when I started pairing her, so she wasn't ridiculously big. But yeah, she would have gained a little bit of weight since then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly flick the light off. Whether you're going to be able to see too much of the candle or not, I do not know, but we'll try our best. So you can see it's not particularly dark in here because I do have the fish tank on. So you can see where I've got that line on the top. What we'll do is we're going to quickly pop this on. We're going to look at some veins. Normally I'd use a little torch, but it's run out of batteries. So can you see that little circle there on the top? So that's where the embryo is. You can see if I give that a little jiggle, that little bubble does move. So that's like a little air bubble, and the embryo is normally stuck to the top of that. So what I'm going to do is, chucked me a pen away, didn't I? So I know that embryo is on the top, so I like to put a little circle there, and that just shows me where the embryo is. So you can kind of see, this is the original mark, this is the way it was facing upwards. I've had to turn that literally 180 degrees to actually get the embryo on the top. So that's why I think it's important to candle eggs, just because I like to sort of lower the possibilities of anything going wrong as much as possible. Some people leave their eggs and they have great success with it, they never have any issues, but I'm just a bit OCD. I like everything to be bang on basically. So I can see some veins. Rotate this round, and again you can see there's like a little circle just where my thumb is. If I give that a little jiggle, there's like a little air bubble just there, so I know that's where the embryo is. So far all the veins are looking good. So again, same process. This one was pretty much laid up perfectly. I only had to rotate that a small distance from there to there, so that wouldn't have made a big difference to be honest, but again I just like to do it, just take out as many of the variables as possible. So we've got this next one, and there we go. So there, oh, that looks interesting. I don't know, I kind of fooled myself there for a second. I don't know if I thought right or not, but it kind of looked like I had 2 embryos in there. I'm probably just joking. No, I don't know. Probably not. I just saw a weird sort of like a double shape at the beginning, but I'll tell you, we'll put D on that. Can you imagine if this was a double clutch as well, and I called it from the beginning double clutch, a double snake in the egg? How cool would that be? So last one, turn this one round, nice big air bubble there, and I'll put a circle on there, and there we go. So that's how I sort of mark my eggs, do my candling, things like that. Really simple to be honest. There's nothing too crazy about it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them into my custom egg box. So if you haven't seen this before, which I'm sure you probably have, because it's pretty much all I ever bang on about in my videos and my Instagram. Oh, custom egg box, custom egg box. Yes, that's pretty much all I talk about, but it's just because I'm quite proud of it, to be honest. It's nice that when you make something and it works, and it works well, that, I don't know, it just makes it a little bit worthwhile basically. But yeah, I am going to keep banging on about it, so if you don't like it, you know what to do. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, this is all 3D printed stuff. So I've 3D printed these dividers, 3D printed the actual grate at the bottom, and then for media, all I'm using is a filter foam sponge that you just get from aquarium shops basically. And the reason I like this is that you don't have any mess. So normally the vermiculite or perlite will stick to snakes, and when snakes come out of the egg they can be quite goopy and nasty. God, look at the size of that egg, it only just fits in. So this is actually a good thing. So you can see, I will get a close up of this afterwards, but this egg is absolutely huge and it fits in there perfectly, and it just shows that it's not really going to roll about. It can't roll over that much because of the size. So when I was measuring this, I pretty much measured it perfectly. Some of these eggs are a little bit smaller, but to be honest, they fit in there absolutely spot on. I can't actually complain about any of these. Get that egg in there. Then we've got one last egg. So we've got I think we've got 2 boob eggs actually. This one was a slight boob egg, and you can see here another little boob egg there. Really weird indeed. But yeah, there we go. So that's all the eggs in there, and yeah, you can see the fit in there is, look at that one, that is literally just in there perfectly. So I don't need to wedge these in place, they're pretty much all going to keep themselves upright anyway. And yeah, this is my little egg box, and it's got this seal on it, this little rubber gasket around the edge of the lid, so that's going to keep all the air in. and that just goes on top. I seal it up and then that goes into the incubator. So now that those eggs are in the incubator, they're going to be in there for 60 days. It's the long dreaded wait that we all hate, because it just seems, sometimes it seems like it takes forever. That last clutch I had, it seemed like it flew by, but that's because I just sort of forgot about them, left them alone, let them do their own thing, and yeah, it kind of whizzed by. But now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean this tub out, get some new coconut in there. I'm going to get a little bit of soap, just put that in with the female, give her a little wash, just to get that egg smell off, and then we'll get her back in the tub set up, and we'll give her a feed probably in 2 or 3 days. So I am feeding tomorrow, so I might offer some food tomorrow, but yeah, it'll probably be in a couple of days time. But before I end the video, I'm going to quickly give you a sneak peek of my last clutch. Now a lot of people are interested in this clutch. This was my cinnamon GHI bred to my pastel blackhead. I think I got some nice stuff. I didn't hit what I wanted. I didn't get cinnamon GHI blackhead, I don't think, I'm not sure, but there's some cool stuff, so I'll give you a quick look at that. So that's a very sneak peek of those. I don't want to show you them too much. I do want to try and get them to feed this weekend, so before I show them, I'm going to try and get them all to feed, and then once they've got a bit of grub in them, they'll get a little bit of size to them. I want to do a whole video just dedicated to them 5, just because I kind of know what I've got, but I'm not 100% sure, so I will need a little bit of help, just sort of trying to work out what they are basically. But overall I think I've got 3 males and 2 females. If the 2 females are what I think they are, then of course I am going to be keeping them. The 3 males, I think I'm probably only going to keep 1, so the other 2 may be available. So if you are interested in what I've got and you are looking to get into sort of blackhead, cinnamon, GHI sort of stuff, then make sure you get ready for the next video, just because if there's something that you like, then message me before it does go up for sale basically. But yeah, I'm excited. I really want to get some size, just because I think it's going to bring out the patterns, but yeah, it's just one of them things. But apart from that, that's all I've got for you. It's really exciting because I know that girl is probably 4 or 5 days away from laying, so I know when it comes to cutting eggs, when I cut the first clutch, I know as they're all coming out the eggs, I get to cut a second clutch, and I know they're not anything too exciting, but cutting eggs for me is always exciting, whether I'm hatching normals or the top range sort of stuff. It really doesn't bother me. I just like cutting eggs. It's just really exciting. And also, you never know what's actually in these snakes. For all you know, there could be a hidden gene in there that you didn't know about. So yeah, it's always exciting to try and find out what there is. But next video will probably be of me pulling the next clutch of eggs, and then I'm probably going to be doing an update on my monster fish tank that I've started. Fish in there are doing really well. Really happy. They're still a little bit finicky when it comes to feeding, but they're getting there slowly. But yeah, that's everything I've got for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next one.